Hey there everyone, Video Game Cabinet here, and tonight we're doing a review on Astro Bot for the PlayStation 5. I just spent the last week running through this, and this is my review. I just finished my playthrough of Astro Bot for PlayStation 5. I saved all 300 of the base game bots, beat the final boss to reach the end credits, found all the puzzle pieces, beat the Great Master Challenge to receive the 301st bot, and I even completed the Winter Wonder and Stellar Speedway DLCs to receive 17 extra bots. And according to my PlayStation profile, I have logged 21 hours into the game. Astro Bot is Sony's most successful attempt at creating a mascot platformer to represent their brand to date. At first, I was thinking this was going to be a Mario/Kirby wannabe, but Astro Bot quickly started surprising me with its own original ideas and personality the further I went along. After a few hours of play, I had no idea what this game was going to throw at me next. Every single level came up with a completely new power-up and control feature that changed the way the game was played. Astro Bot begins with a giant green alien attacking the hero's spaceship, which is shaped like a PS5 console. The 300 bots aboard the ship are scattered across the universe, and you must search for them as well as the console components to power up your ship. Most of the bots are modeled after characters from classic game franchises that have populated the PlayStation library over the last 30 years. It's a simple setup that gives way to warm feelings of nostalgia as you play through Astro Bot's campaign. Beyond the references to past franchises, Astro Bot is a fabulous platformer that is welcoming to novice players while still giving veterans a stiff challenge. The levels are linear, but encourage exploration with little secret areas to find the missing bots and puzzle pieces. Each level has its own distinct gameplay theme with a special suit to help you overcome the obstacles. Some stages end with an awesome boss fight that incorporates whatever ability you attain from your current suit. Part of Astro Bot's charm for me was never knowing what I was going to see or do next. This game is a visual delight, and witnessing the many surprises for yourself is a real treat. The music is also fantastic, my favorite tracks being Tight Mites, You Can't Catch Me, and Crash Site. Astro Bot is a captivating game for all ages and works great as a flagship title for the PlayStation 5. The developers were clearly inspired by some of Nintendo's works, but Astro Bot still goes its own way with inventive game mechanics and fresh ideas. And most importantly, it nails the parkour and platforming with tight controls and fun levels to progress through. I rate Astro Bot an 8.5 out of 10. And that is my review. Yeah, this game was really good. There were lots of really cool surprises that I didn't expect, that I don't want to spoil in this review. So it's best to go into this game blind. If you haven't played it yet, definitely go out and do it. There's a lot of really original ideas with a lot of the suits that you get and a lot of the sights that you see in the different levels. So, you know, I don't want to talk about too much of those right now. It was really cool. Definitely go out and play the game. Compared to other recent 3D platformers that I've played on Nintendo's console, this one it holds up really well. You know, it did remind me a little bit of Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which I reviewed on my Instagram a year and a half ago, right before I started this YouTube, and I rated Kirby an 8. And so I like Astro Bot a little bit better, you know, giving Astro Bot an 8.5. But a little bit better than that, I would say, still, and this is another one that I think Astro Bot takes a little bit of inspiration from, and that's Super Mario 3D World. This one I gave a 9.5 in my review, and I reviewed this on my YouTube last year. But yeah, so, but, you know, Astro Bot still stands tall amongst its other peers, you know, for 3D platformers. But yeah, and I'll tell you what, though, speaking of 3D platformers, the one that I can think of right now that is an absolute piece of dog shit and that Astro Bot kicks the shit out of was the game that made my #1 on my top 10 most overrated games of all time, and that is Super Mario Odyssey. This game sucked. This game was a piece of shit. This is not what I want from a 3D platformer at all. And, you know, everything that this game did wrong, Astro Bot stuck to the basics and did everything right in terms of how the levels, like you progress through a level and you find little secrets. In Odyssey, you're getting these moons for doing nothing, and it took no work at all, and it was just, this game sucked. But, you know, I don't want to get off on too much of a tangent, but yeah, that's how Astro Bot compares to some of the recent 3D platformers. Also, very notably, is that this game just won Game of the Year at the Game Awards for 2024. To be honest, I have beaten, now with Astro Bot, I have beaten 39 games this year. I'm going to try to do one more before the end of the year to make it 40. We'll see if I can work fast enough. But from games from 2024, I have only beaten 3 now, to be honest with you. Astro Bot is one of them, and Prince of Persia and the Lost Crown is another. This one I rated a strong 8. So, you know, I guess this would be my 3rd favorite game of the year, and Astro Bot would be my 2nd favorite game of the year. And then my #1 favorite game of the year that I would pick for game of the year out of what I've played is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I also reviewed on this channel. I gave it a 10 out of 10. I thought this was a masterpiece. But I can still see why it won Game of the Year at the awards. You know, it is a damn fine, tight platformer. It's really fun. It's got a lot of original ideas, and I had a lot of fun with it. Sony did a great job. I know they've been trying to find like a mascot platformer to represent their brand, you know, the whole time that they've been out. I remember they started long ago with trying to do it with Crash Bandicoot, and, you know, that was a good game too. But I think out of the ones that I've played and seen, I think this is definitely their most successful stab at doing that. And I hope this sticks. I hope they turn it into a franchise, because they have a great, you know, first entry to build off of here. So, you know, this was a really, really good game, and I'm, you know, just glad to have it off the backlog early, you know, because it just came out late this year. So, but anyways, yeah, so those are my thoughts. 8.5 out of 10, strong 8.5 out of 10 for Astro Bot on PlayStation 5, and have a good night.